Now we're on to the Ranger. So this is not Lara Croft, basically. But also a lot inspired by the kind of like Bear Grylls Survivalist. If you ever watch a survival program on Discovery or something, like, you know what I'm talking about. The Ranger is that. It's exactly that. So D10 again. This time I wanted the Ranger kind of straddles that line in fantasy where it's that kind of a little bit more like magical, a little bit druidy, but also quite soldiery. So that's where I was going with it. So in terms of their ranged offering proficiencies, you can have simple and military ranged weapons. Melee also includes traditional, because you might actually use staves or swords even, or that kind of thing, you know. No tools as yet. A tool might come up in beta where we put that in because it's like a survival pack or something. Although I know the packs aren't tools themselves. Vehicles, I thought, give them a few motorcycles, cars, and heavy vehicles or heavy goods vehicles is the kind of category it's going to be, roughly speaking. Saving throws, dex, and con, I think, as usual. And then skills, choose 3 from acrobatics, athletics, medicine, perception, survival, stealth, and tactics. All great choices for prospective kind of wilderness missions, but also kind of like urban environments where maybe it's kind of been saddled with war a little bit and that kind of thing. A bit kind of ruined places. Natural Explorer is as you would expect. It's that favoured terrain goodness of the Ranger. It doesn't slow you down, does all that kind of cool stuff. You can move more stealthily, all that kind of stuff. You get 3 favoured terrains in all, 1 at 1st level, and then 6th and 10th level as well. Excuse me. And then Danger Sense, you get an uncanny sense when things nearby aren't as they should be, and this is that Danger Sense from Ranger as well as normal. You have advantage on dex saves against things such as traps, can't be blinded, deafened, or incapacitated. To gain that benefit. From 6th level, you can re-roll a d20 and take the result from either re-rolled or the remaining die from the original roll for that kind of stuff, for the saving throw. Fighting style, and it's worth mentioning these before they come up in Soldier. There are a few new fighting styles, slightly renamed fighting styles. Close quarters combat, CQC, is +2 bonus to attack rolls with unarmed or melee weapons. Defense, +1 bonus to AC. Marksmanship, traditional fighting gives you +1 to damage rolls with simple melee, bows, crossbows, improvised ranged weapons. So it gives you that kind of bow advantage. And 2-weapon fighting, you add your ability modifier to the damage of the second attack too. Ranger archetypes come up at 3rd level, as usual. Ability and equipment upgrades as normal too from 4th level. And then an extra attack at 5th. Land stride at 8th level means moving through difficult terrain costs you no extra movement. You can also pass through hazardous vegetation without being slowed down by it, without taking damage from them if they got like poisons or any dangerous plants and that kind of thing. A vehicle proficiency at 9th level, you gain another one in your favourite terrain. For each of your favourite terrains, sorry. Or 1 new air vehicle proficiency. And you gain another vehicle proficiency at 14th level. Camouflage is a little bit adapted at 10th level. As long as you've got time, you can use the natural environment to disguise yourself. You gain a +5 bonus to dex stealth checks as long as you remain there without moving or taking actions. Multi-attack at 13th level gives you a volley that you can use your action to make a range attack against any number of creatures within 10 feet. The whirlwind attack as well as an option, which means you can make melee attack against any number of creatures within 5 feet of you as well. Tracking expert at 14th level means you can automatically find tracks of creatures and other agents who are not trying to cover their movement. You also have advantage on survival checks when trying to find evidence of movement that's been obscured by the target or the enemy. Resilience at 17th level means that you could re-roll a saving throw, must take the second result, and you can use it 3 times before a long rest. Natural senses at 18th level. You've learned to trust your senses, so that they help you fight enemies you can't see. Doesn't impose disadvantage if you can't see them. You are also made aware of the location of any hidden enemies within 10 feet of you, provided you aren't blinded or deafened, and you are in your favour terrain. And Master Hunter is locked like the Assassin one from before. You can add your Wisdom modifier to the attack and damage roll of an attack you make. You can choose to use this feature before or after the roll. Any effects have been applied. That'll need a little bit of tweaking, I believe. But that is my starter for 10 for the Ranger. And the archetypes, the 2 that we've got available from the Kickstarter are going to be Guerrilla Fighter. So this is more about like asymmetric warfare. It's kind of freedom fighters. This is taking on from that kind of thing. So from 3rd level, you can make improvised explosive devices, and that's a little bit in negotiation with the Game Master. From 7th level, in your favoured terrain, you have contacts in the local population that can help you provide like a safe house or kind of direct assistance or even some kind of intelligence that you might need from them, providing you still have a good reputation with them and they have the ability to actually help you as well. And then Sabotage, you gain a bonus D8 damage to attacks against objects and vehicles with your explosives. Damage rolls against personnel that are caught in the blast do not receive this bonus. It's very much about sabotaging certain assets, buildings, weapons caches, all that kind of stuff as well. And then Ambush Tactician from 15th level really lets you properly organize a group so that you can overwhelm a larger force, which is all about what guerrilla warfare is all about. Small groups of people making the enemy feel like they're fighting a much larger force than they actually are. So when you attempt to infiltrate or gain surprise over an enemy before combat, you can make a tactics check in place of the group's dex stealth checks. If you succeed, all members of the team have surprise over the enemy NPCs. And then Survivalist is exactly those kind of Bear Grylls survival people, and all those kind of programs that you kind of watch, like a Seven Discovery or something. Determination for survival is a +2 bonus to con saving throws to resist the effects of taking on levels of exhaustion from not getting enough food or water. So a lot of these programs talk a lot about the will to survive, and having to push that and pushing the body as far as it can through that exhaustion, through not getting enough water, through not getting enough food. And it's just giving the Ranger, this archetype, a boost to that they need. Then pushing through, beginning at 7th level as an action, you can gain temporary hit points equal to your hit die. This increases to 2 hit die at 13th, 3 hit die at 17th level. Also, when you spend hit dice to regain hit points during rest in your favourite terrain, you add your proficiency bonus to the roll. So that gives you a nice bonus to the actual health that you get back. And then poison resistance from 11th level gives you advantage on saving throws against being poisoned, and you have resistance to poison damage. And then true survivor from 17th level gives you a bonus D6 to all survival checks, and you have advantage with saving throws related to suffering conditions due to your favoured terrain. In addition, your favoured terrain, you can no longer be surprised in combat. That was the Ranger.